Namaskar. Good evening, friends. I welcome you all to my English YouTube channel, Life and Economics. Today is 15th August. India has celebrated 74th Independence Day. This year, due to impact of coronavirus, it could not be celebrated with pomp and grandeur. As usual, our Honorable Prime Minister has delivered a long speech from the rampart of Red Fort. Every Independence Day, who is Prime Minister delivers speech. In our system, when Prime Minister speaks, entire nations listens, even other countries listens because of his position. So it requires analysis of what Honorable Prime Minister has spoken, or how he wants to make plan, or how he wants to change the condition of the vulnerable masses, or how he wants to rule. That needs to be discussed. Otherwise, people will not get the correct information. Since his historic speech, all the media in the evening continuously repeating this speech. But I rarely see any critical analysis in pro people or pro poor angle. Because governance, whoever rules, success is part of governance, as well as failure is also part of governance. Because whoever rule cannot ensure success in all aspect of life, or all aspect of rules, regulation, in everything. But how many rulers admit their failure, the dark side of the governance? That is the major question today. We emulate God, Lord Ram, but Lord Ram was admitting his failures. But in mythology, rulers were also admitting their failures, as well as they were glorifying their success achievement. But I do not find in India, if it's in our democracy, when we are boasting of our democracy, independence, how many rulers, not only this present one, even past, how many rulers admit the failures, as failures is the part of governance like success. So let us examine, let us analyze what our Honorable Prime Minister has told, and what it will be realized. The most important thing is that our Honorable Prime Minister has tremendous power of eloquence. He is a grandiloquent speaker, powerful speaker, oratorial. He has a tremendous oratorial ability which can sway the entire nations in his favor. But that does not solve the problem of the vulnerable section of the society. That does not reduce the hunger, poverty, and starvation. That may earn a political dividend, but that cannot solve the problem of the society. Honorable Prime Minister has asked many questions to the people: why we cannot do it, why we cannot make India self-reliant, why we cannot achieve this. But my thing is that it is the people who should ask the ruler. Ruler cannot ask us because they are ruling. Because since they are ruling, he is not ruling for the first time. Already he has ruled India 6 years. Even his predecessors have ruled, and even during NDA government, when BJP was in power, they have ruled. So it is the people to ask the question: why we cannot achieve this, why hunger cannot be eliminated, why poverty cannot be eliminated, why we have not achieved self-reliant economy. They should ask the rulers. But Rulers should not ask the question to the people why we cannot do it, because they have ruled for many years. Next important thing is that he creates a lot of promise. There is nothing wrong. But question is how much his promise has been realized. In every speech he comes with a new slogan. For example, before coming to the power during 2014, there was slogan, "Achhe din aane wala hai," good days are coming. इस बार मोदी सरकार जनता माफ नहीं करेंगे, मीन्स यूपीए को माफ नहीं करेंगे. He was telling, give me, you have given 60 years to others, give me 5 years, I can transform the entire country. But he has already ruled to 6 years. So why our economy is not transformed? Why poverty, hunger, starvation is still rampant? Then who will ask this question? That is the question. Now we are also listening various slogans, New India, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Then Atmanirbhar Bharat. So many and so many slogans that puzzles the masses. We do not want to listen slogans because what they should do, what Honorable Prime Minister should tell, what India has achieved, what he has promised, and what he has achieved, and what he wants to achieve in future. But if he, in every speech, contain that he will do or we will achieve in the long run, then in the long run everybody is dead. Nobody has seen the tomorrow. As when demonetization was taken, it was told that so many things will be achieved, but nothing was achieved. Rather, it ruined, destroyed, devastated the economy. GST was implemented. It was told that it will bring transparency in the taxation system, but it became a complexity. Complexity was imposed by another name. So, question should be that Honorable Prime Minister should have told what India has achieved during his regime, what he has promised and has realized, and what he wants to achieve. If target is said that it will achieve 2030 or 2035 or so distance, one cannot tell what will happen, because in the long run everybody is dead. Now let us vivisect, scrutinize, analyze what Honorable Prime Minister has told. He has told that we are living in a free India or fearless India because the sacrifice of the freedom fighters, sacrifice of our soldiers. Definitely, it is fully accurate. Whatever independence we are enjoying because of our freedom fighters who laid down their life, who sacrificed a lot. But the question is today, are people totally fearless? How many people, efficient people without money and muscle power, able to get elected or get to entry into the parliament? That is the biggest question today. Everybody wants to achieve position in a society. That is nothing wrong. But how many good people are able to make entry into parliament or assemblies? Unless you have money and muscle powers, very few good people or honest people are able to do that. Why this atmosphere? Because our system is giving so much wattage. Our system is ruled, controlled by the research section of the society, which needs to be addressed by Honorable Prime Minister. Another thing is that today it is difficult to give free opinion. Media is control and media is better to give news, perform news to favor the ruling class. Either veil threat or advertisement, allurement of advertisement. Social media is already spoiled. Hatred is created. If somebody is a democracy, it depends upon criticism, dissent, because a break is necessary. When somebody is driving a vehicle, he cannot drive properly without a strong brake. But who can act the brake? It is the intellectual masses. It is the progressive people. They should act as a brake. But now brake is destroyed because those who expose the failure ruling class are harassed, humiliated. They are not allowed to give a free opinion. If they give in free opinion, very, very scurrilous, unsavory language are used against them even by many top intellectuals. People are thrown out of social media if they find fault with the ruling class. Brake is weakened. So when brake is weakened, the vehicle may ride roughshod on the masses. So rule regulation formulated are sweating the richer section of the society, while masses are getting impoverished. Hunger, starvation is increasing. The glaring example of an increase of a decrease in reduction in corporate tax and Ambani amassing wealth. His wealth has increased by $22 billion in 1 year. When economy is crumbling, stumbling, plummeting, people are grappling to cope with the devastating detrimental consequence of coronavirus. Still, India is plagued by religious fanaticism, communal skirmishes, linguistic antagonism. Still, it is pervasive today. As far as peace is concerned, violence cost more than $1 trillion or 8 lakh crores in a year. In 2017, violence had cost 8 lakh crore to Indian economy or to India's GDP. I am not telling that it is happening in India only, it is also happening in other countries. Because our political systems spawn violence, hatreds. Everybody wants to rule us, everybody wants to achieve positions by creating divisions. People are made to fight each other today. Instead of fighting against injustice perpetrated against them, they are fighting against each other. Some are defending the failures of government while some are criticizing the failures of government. As I have told, failure is part of governance. Whoever rules will have failure. It is not a bad thing. But what is most important? Admitting the failure and taking step. When one is suffering from disease, doctor has to prescribe medicines. But if the patient does not tell, how the doctor will prescribe? Those who are making criticize or pointing the failures or giving constructive suggestions in pro-people angle are not becoming yes man, are shown the door like Arvindam Subramaniam, Urjit Patel, like Raghuram Rajan. Next important thing is that Prime Minister saluted Corona warriors. It is a good thing, I appreciate. He has recognized it. He has spoken in his speech. I appreciate this. But the question is that the devastated, the decrepit, our health structure, health infrastructure, health sector. Around 5.5 crore people are pushed, are dragged into poverty line because of a health expenditure. India is one of the most privatized healthcare sector where around 60 to 70% of the health expenditure is borne by the patient himself or herself. Our doctor patient ratio, hospital patient ratio, hospital bed patient ratio is one of the lowest. Our health expenditure ranging from 1 to 1.3% of GDP is one of the lowest in the world. But that needs to be addressed by honorable prime ministers. But nothing is happened. Next, he raised that the foreign countries or foreign rulers have destroyed our culture. It is true. They have made invasion, they have invaded country, they have loot our property, wealth. But in the long run, they have also contributed to our growth of culture. Our culture is a synthesis of other religions, other communities. They have plundered wealth, no doubt. They have destroyed our sovereignty, no doubt. But culture has grown, our religion, the Hindu religion that preaches tolerance, has grown, has become stronger. Nobody should think that he is the protector of Hindu religion. Hindu religion has survived all scare, all attacks in the past. It will survive. No community, nobody should claim that he is the savior of Hindu religion. That is quite wrong. It is such a religion because if it is tolerance, because it is brotherhood, because it embraces others, because it is liberal, it has survived, will survive, will be stronger day by day. So nobody should think that he is protecting the religion or he is the savior of religion. Next, he talked about self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, New India. But my question is, what is the shape of a self-reliant India? What is the shape of a Atmanirbhar Bharat? What is the target we want to achieve? The primary question is that why after 74 years of independence, why even after ruling 6 years, why he talks about self-reliant India when COVID is inflicting a severe damage on our economy? Particularly, I have doubt about the shape of self-reliant India. Self-reliant India cannot be achieved through rapid privatization of public sector. The privatization of public goods, social services, social sector like health, education. Self-reliance cannot be achieved by allowing unfettered FDI in the Indian economy. He has taken pride for increase of FDI. I am not against FDI, but FDI should be not be unfettered, unbridled. It should be regulated. FDI is welcome if it creates employment, it creates being new technology, it comes in the greenfield industry, but it is coming mostly in the service sector like financial sector, which is destroying the brain of the economy. Rise of FDI or decline of FDI is not important. Important thing how FDI is contributing to the growth, how FDI is contributing to the employment, how is FDI is creating jobs. The implication of FDI, the amount is not question, it is impact. Rather, it is displacing the Indian industry. It is taking out the job, it is snatching the job that could have been created by the indigenous industry. So, what is the more important thing? FDI should come under our guidance, under our rule regulation, but they decide the rule regulation. They put pressure on the ruling class to form rule regulation to suit them. So the another important thing is that the Make India concept, or to global make global economy and other things, our Make India concept has totally failed. Still, we are dependent. To make India self-reliant economy, we need to produce goods and services. It is not necessarily we should not import anything. We should import, because if we do not import, why other countries will import from our countries? The purpose is that global trade should increase, global growth should increase, but our share in global trade should increase, especially we should export more, import less. But we should not reduce the export and we should not reduce import. We should import as well as we should export more. We should have not trade deficit or trade surplus. Even little bit trade deficit is not bad. We should import those commodity which is more costlier to be produced in India, and we should export that commodity which can be produced at cheaper rate in India. But if we blindly stop importing, then our people will have to purchase certain commodity at higher cost that will erode their purchasing power. That will weaken their living standards. Recently, banning some imports from China has increased the cost of medicine. The medicines are coming with a new higher price. So that is going to affect masses. So what should be the policy of government is that it should to create such situation where we can produce goods and services at not only cheaper rate, that can be cost effective and efficient, and that can be imported by other countries. That is should be the policy. But what has happened? Many indigenous industry has been destroyed, decimated after liberation process. Big fish has killed the small fish. It is not necessarily our indigenous industry or technique is bad, but lack of capital, lack of advertisement. Advertisement has such a role, and a multinational company with huge capital can go on selling their product at cheaper rate, then they can decimate indigenous industry. Some of our industry has not closed because of poor quality, because of lack of advertisement, lack of resources. We do not have. I am not against the opening of the economy. We can open the door, but we should allow the good wind to enter while we should close the bad wind when comes. But we do not have that capacity. So unbridled liberation has destroyed, rapid privatization, disinvestment has weakened the public sector, and the concept of self-reliance is good, but there should be vision. How we want to define the self-reliant. It is the liberation process that has killed the very concept of self-reliance. So that must be reversed. At least that should be, if it is not reversed, it must be regulated, controlled. But that is not happening. Another important thing is that he has told the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But today, many countries are at loggerheads. There is dispute. India should play a role that can unite the entire world, but we are not able to do it. We have border conflict with Pakistan, China. Still, it is not solved. Rather, it is the such conflict, war, hysteria, hells. We should create a situation. He also talked about Ram Mandir. No doubt, as a Hindu, I welcome it. But Ram temple is going to be constructed not just in a peaceful manner. Some has lost their life. There has been a dispute. However, when problem has been solved, that is welcome. But the timing of the construction raises a lot of questions, and people critics says the government is so hurry when the COVID crisis is gripping us, maybe to derive political mileage. Some minority community feel frightened. Some may argue that in other countries, they are theocratic state, they are Hindu are not respect. That may be correct. In a religious fundamentalism is in every religions. Even in many countries, there is no democracy. Even there is no democracy, no freedom, what we enjoy in India. Even Hindus are not given that much respect in some other countries. That is correct. But that means we should not follow them. You should not emulate them. I say the minorities have also a role to create such a situation that majority should have a faith upon them. But I think many minority community have contributed, has made a lot of sacrifice for country. They have made a lot of contribution in the social development, scientific development, this progress and the society. So there should not be any fearful atmosphere. There should be a peaceful atmosphere. All communities should feel proud. They should feel free. They should not have anything resentment in his mind which they are not able to express. What is most important thing is that Honorable Prime Minister has talked about 130 crores Indians. 130 crores Indians will adopt a self-reliant economy. In most of speech, he speaks about 130 crores Indians. But there is two India. One represent rising India, that is 30% of the population, 35 crores of the people who has enormous wealth or who have wealth to enjoy their life, lead a prosperous life. But what about rest? I am not telling that whoever rules will solve the problem. That is not an easy way to solve the problem. But admitting the problem is most important first criteria. Nobody talks about these 100 crores people. If we go see, analyze, India is abysmally placed in all index, hunger index, happiness index, human development index, inclusive index. Only we have seen improvement in ease of doing business index, which is many times told by ruling class. Why we why we are placed abysmally in all other index? Why this is not addressed? Why this is not raised? Why this is not discussed? That is the most important questions. What about voiceless India? Neglected India that represent majority of the population. Around 19.44 crore people and more than this are hungry, go to bed with empty stomach, or they are not able to get food what they want. Many children die in mother womb. Many children die before reaching the age of 5. Still, large number of population are languishing under poverty and starvation. And this corona pandemic has pushed them into further and has aggravated their economic condition plight. Unemployment is rampant. Many youth are thinking that this is the situation which we have to embrace. That is quite wrong. Before a corona afflicting Indian economy, The unemployment rate was 45 years high, that is 6.1% in 2017-18. Economic growth has been 11 years low, that is 4.2% in 2018-19. Consumer spending is a decade low, and for the first time, employment has declined because private sector is giving more stress into the profit while not creating enough job. Job lost in government sector, public sector is not equally created in private sector. Then who will address? It is not easy to solve the unemployment problem. All cannot be given job, but attempt should be made to solve this. Otherwise, youth will be spoiled. It will create a devastating atmosphere. Social stability will be disturbed. There will be more violence. Nobody talks about this. Honorable Prime Minister did not speak about the unemployment, poverty, hunger, starvation, inequality. We have enough wealth. It is not necessary to forget about growth. Whatever growth is achieved, it is due to debt-induced growth. Burden of debt is shifted to masses, but the benefit of growth is garnered by the few section. 10% of the population enjoys the 3/4 of the wealth of the economy. 1% of the population enjoy 4 times wealth of 95 crores of Indian. The inequality is also rampant in other countries because in the entire world, the rural class are becoming, our richer section of society are becoming ruling class and decision makers, opinion makers. The rule formulated is favoring the richer section of society while leading to the decimation of voiceless people, poor people. Then why there is no effort in address the inequality? Next important it is to how to generate resources. The major problem in Indian economy is we don't have resources to spend, that is leading to privatization, disinvestment, or selling public sector, or extorting huge demand from the public sector. Our tax GDP ratio of center is around 10%, 10 to 11%, which has been reduced to 10 years low of 9.58% in 2019-20. Where in other countries it is 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. In the OECD countries it is 34%. The major thrust of the government policies should be to tax the rich, tax the wealthy, impose the wealth tax, inheritance tax to raise the resources and spend for welfare scheme, reducing poverty, starvation, hunger, creating more job employment. The main objective is to generate resources. So speech cannot, whatever speech, qualitative speech, how much it is create enthusiasm or a dream, cannot solve the problems. Those who are languishing under poverty or starvation, those who are unable to get proper health care, education facilities, when 1.7 million people are still homeless, crores of people are still languishing under modern slavery, unemployment is rampant, poverty is rampant. So it can be addressed only when we have enough resources. I request intellectuals, I request politicians, I request bureaucrats. I am not blaming present Prime Minister or any rulers, because there is no easy way out of this. But what I want to tell, that ruling class, bureaucrats should not justify the decision of ruling class. They should advise, they should expose the failure, they should suggest. They should not justify like draconian decision of demonetization. Government admit where it is failing, because whoever rules will have failures. Then there can be solution. The solution lies with raising resources, amassing huge resources by taxing the rich and wealthy, then spending in the alleviation of poverty, hunger, starvation, creating employment. Otherwise, our democracy will be imperiled, poverty will be grown, voiceless will be decimated. Thank you all.